Hey guys, I just got back from France, and while I was in Paris, I actually decided to stop into the Maison Francis Kurkdjian store near the Place Vendôme, and I was actually looking for a bottle of Beau Parfum. So this is a new fragrance that just launched, although it's a redo of an existing fragrance launched originally in 2015. So while I was there, I bought a bottle of this and noticed that three more fragrances that are known as my very intimate collection are sold at the boutique. And now I see them on the MFK website as well. Those other three fragrances include Reflets d'Ambre, this one right here. We've got Absolue pour le Soir and Absolue pour le Matin. So these four are considered my very intimate collection. I don't know if they're gonna end up at the department stores or the stores that sell MFK fragrances, but I was told at the Paris boutique that these are exclusive, but they are on the website. The USA website is showing these four fragrances. They're selling for $350 for 70 ml bottles. So I'm gonna let you know about Beau Parfum and then also touch on the three other fragrances. And if you guys have been in the market to get these fragrances, because I do consider Absolue pour le Soir as one of my favorites from the house. I'm glad it was brought back as an exclusive to Selfridges, but I guess that exclusivity is gone now. It launched there with Absolue pour le Matin. But let's go ahead and talk about Beau Parfum. This is an existing fragrance from 2015. I believe it was shelved and then it was just brought back just recently, like within the last month. And if you are familiar with Beau Parfum, let me know. Add a comment below. I didn't pay $315 for this. Of course, I paid in euros. And I thought it was in the $200 range. I don't remember exactly what price I paid, but I wanted to add it to my collection because I had smelled it before. Actually, I had smelled it around the same time I had smelled Ciel de Goum, which was also selling exclusively there at the boutique in Paris. And I'm glad it's back. It's more of a floral fragrance. It seems like a solar floral for me. Like it's got Ylang, orange blossom, Grandiflorum, Jasmine, and Tuberose. So it's mostly those notes, highlighted these floral notes. And it's got that typical DNA of MFK fragrances, that kind of clean, musky accord or DNA that MFK fragrances have. So here's the bottle. Beau Parfum. Let me know if you've sampled this in the past. See on the back it says something about 2015. So that's when it was originally launched. And I can't remember why this was launched and it was selling exclusively at a boutique. It was never launched everywhere. I think it was made for, could it be made for a hotel in the past? I can't remember exactly. But let me tell you what I get with this fragrance. This is the first time I'm actually testing it out. I smelled it in the MFK boutique and I thought, yeah, this is a very floral experience. But here, as I'm smelling this, it's quite potent with the Ylang. It's pretty strong. And then, of course, the other floral notes, the orange blossom, Grandiflorum, Jasmine, and Tuberose are mixed in together. It's very, very white floral forward. There's creamy touches here. It's acting creamy because a lot of the white floral notes, including the Ylang, come off very creamy. But along the way with its creamy touches, I'm getting a bit of a powdery experience as well. It's sweet for sure. It's giving me vintage vibes. I don't know if that's because I'm smelling these floral notes that can come off very vintage. The Ylang mixed in with the Jasmine and Tuberose. I think the Tuberose is pretty potent here as well. It gives me a little bit of the idea of Fracas, a little bit. And I think that's coming from the Tuberose. So it's a bit bubblegummy when I'm referring to Fracas. So let's go ahead and smell that on skin next. Again, I thought this was exclusively launching for the boutique, and the associates mentioned it was exclusive to the boutique, but I now realize that all four of these fragrances are on the USA MFK website. In the past, I had ordered Ciel de Goum off of the MFK website, but I think the product itself was hidden, and I would contact the MFK boutique and they would send me a link to it and things like that. But now these are readily available, so anyone that's interested in these for my very intimate collection fragrances can get them. But here I'm smelling it on skin. So to me, it smells a bit better this time around on skin than it is off the strip. Off the strip, I was smelling it a bit separated. Like I could totally distinguish the Ylang from the Orange Blossom and Grandiflorum, Jasmine, and Tuberose. Here, it seems like it's a nice bouquet, but very vintage. I hadn't experienced this fragrance hardly at all, so I'm getting a total vintage vibe with this fragrance. All the floral notes come off. I feel like there's a little musk under there, which is that musk I was talking about. But it's a white floral balm with a touch of yellow flowers in there. Slightly citrusy because of the orange blossom, but also very bubblegummy, giving me a bit of a solar effect. Is it my favorite fragrance from the My Very Intimate collection of fragrances? No, it's not. But it's certainly something I could wear and enjoy. And I feel like it's also not so potent. It's a perfect warm weather fragrance, but sometimes I think white floral notes can get a little cloying. Use caution with it. But let me know if you're a fan of this one. Have you sampled it? Have you worn it in the past? And are you excited for the relaunch of it as part of the My Very Intimate collection? My favorite in the My Very Intimate collection happens to be Absolue pour le Soir, and I'm so happy that it is selling now. It is 70 ml, $315, so it's quite pricey. I ordered mine from Selfridges along with the Absolue pour le Matin. But from the 4 fragrances here, my all-time favorite happens to be Absolue pour le Soir. It's such an amazing fragrance, and it's a relaunch of the OG, which I do have a bottle of here. But recently I actually did my MFK video. I did a whole brand overview, long form video. If you haven't caught that video, please go catch it. In that video, I was comparing the two, the OG and the new version. And I bought my new version last year from Selfridges. So within the year, the fragrance had gotten concentrated and it was actually getting really close to smelling like the OG, which again, as I said, I'm a big fan of, and definitely worth having if you like musky fragrances with a, ambery balsamic overdose. But Absolue pour le Soir has notes of rose honey accord, vanilla amber accord, cis labdanum, and cumin oil. So this is a key note, cumin oil. I got cumin in the original. You can smell it. It comes off a bit sweaty, but it's nicely blended with all the honeyed amber touches, and it makes for a very sexy wear. Totally sexy. And definitely one of my all-time favorite fragrances, not only from MFK or Maison Francis Kurkdjian, but from any brand out there. Yeah, I think the OG is still the OG is still like the best, but it's gotten so close to the OG, the new version. It's super spicy. It's sweet and resinous. Animalic, yeah, there's an animalic quality about it, not only from the cumin, but also there's a muskiness here. But I think it's tolerable. It's not overly animalic where you can't wear it, but it depends on how much you can tolerate. But along the way, there's woody characteristics here, very honeyed, powdery, and even vanillic. So there's vanillic touches here because they have that vanilla amber accord. They have the cis labdanum and they have the vanilla amber accord as well. But one of the best fragrances ever created. If you've been dying to get a bottle, I think it's now much more easier to get the new version of Absolue pour le Soir. Let me know if you have a bottle of the new version of Absolue pour le Soir. Have you compared it to the OG? What are your thoughts? Do you get similarities? Are they totally different? They're not identical for sure, but I think the maceration has brought it to be a bit closer than it was last year. And I'm happy about using the new version in comparison to the OG. This one has to be kept away and, let it stay in a cool, dark, dry space. And I can pull the Absolue pour le Soir 2024 version and wear it as much as I want. Yeah, do let me know if you're a fan of the OG and if you have the new version. Have you compared them? What are your thoughts? Add a comment below. Now, the next fragrance that launched with the Absolue pour le Soir is Absolue pour le Matin. Now, I wasn't too familiar with this one. Even when I was sampling Absolue pour le Soir around 2012, I never sampled this one. I don't know why. I had skipped it. But this is kind of a citrusy, powdery fragrance with, I believe, lemons and violets. So the violets gives you the kind of a powdery effect in this. Once again, it's also the same price. It's $315 for a 70 ml. And also Absolue pour le Matin was originally launched in 2010, just like Absolue pour le Soir, and brought back in 2024. It's got notes of powdery woody accord, thyme, lemons, violets, and orange blossom. So the thyme does appear here. It adds that kind of herbal, kind of familiar smell, which is kind of very prominent in something like Herbs de Provence. But I feel like it's just the right amount. It's not overpowering the other notes. And the violets are totally present as well. If you know anything about how violets smell, you can smell it. But once again, it's done in a perfect way. It's not overwhelming. What I like about this one is the lemon and how the lemon works with the violets. They do kind of work wonderfully together, and I thought these two notes would never work together. It doesn't sound like something that I thought would work together, but it does work together well. But overall, it's more of a fresh powdery fragrance with some substance, because it also has the powdery woody accord there. So along the way, you've got the citruses of the lemon, you've got that aromatic touch of the thyme, you've got the powdery floral touch of the violets, and then of course the orange blossom comes in, gives you a citrusy floral thing, and settling to a powdery wood accord. I would say this is my third favorite of this collection of fragrances that's exclusive now from MFK. Let me know your thoughts. If you're a fan of Absolue pour le Matin, or do you prefer Absolue pour le Soir more? Add a comment below. And then finally, we've got Reflets d'Ambre, which is what really kickstarted the re-release of like OG fragrances from MFK that were once discontinued. And somebody recently said Reflets d'Ambre is supposed to be a new fragrance. It's not supposed to be a remake of Ciel de Goum. So if it's supposed to be a new fragrance, why does it remind me of Ciel de Goum? If it's a new fragrance, it shouldn't remind me of it, right? I think the reason it was renamed is because this is using the name of a department store in Moscow. They couldn't use that same name, so they changed it to something that's not specifically about a destination or a place or a store in this case. So I get similarities to Ciel de Goum, and let me show you my bottles. I actually have a note in this box. So this one is a box that I've had, a bottle that I've had since May 21, 2015. I guess that's the day it was manufactured. And the color, look at the color of the juice. It's so gorgeous. It's like this deep kind of red, almost like blood red. And then I have another bottle here from October 7, 2020. The color is a bit lighter, and I think I have another one somewhere as well. So as you can see, the colors are a bit different. But you know what? The color's getting darker and darker on this juice. Because the last time I showed you guys the bottles with the juice in them, they were not the same. It was a little lighter. But the OG from 2015 here, which is when it was manufactured, is pretty dark. But I get similarities to Ciel de Goum. That's why I say it's a redo of Ciel de Goum. Originally Ciel de Goum. Ciel de Goum was launched in 2013, but it is brought back as Reflets d'Ambre. And again, as I said, I think they changed the name because originally it had the name of a department store in it. Once again, it's 70 ml for, it's a $315 for a 70 ml, and it's part of the My Very Intimate collection of fragrances that are exclusively at the boutique. And again, they're online on the USA MFK website as well. So I was told that these are going to be boutique exclusives. I wasn't expecting to find them on the MFK website. So the fact that they're on the MFK website, are these going to appear at department stores now or retailers that sell MFK? If anybody has that information, let us know. Reflets d'Ambre features notes of leathery amber accord, pink peppercorns, Grandiflorum jasmine. And I bought my first bottle in December of 2014 while on a trip to France. And I brought back my bottle and I did a review in 2015 on my previous YouTube channel. Don't have that channel anymore. But that was the first time I had worn this, and it was exclusively selling at the boutique. and of course at that department store in Moscow. But this is definitely my number 2 favorite in this collection of 4 my intimate collection fragrances. What I like about it is warm, spicy, very, very warm, very, very spicy, and of course ambery, and it's sweet and white floral, and the jasmine is so super strong and nicely blended with the pink peppercorns. I get a little bit of a cinnamony hot spiciness, but there's no cinnamon here, so it doesn't smell like cinnamon, but I get that kind of hot, spicy kind of an effect with how they've done the fragrance. In fact, I think the fragrance has even gotten much better now, like with Reflets d'Ambre is reminding me so much of Ciel de Gum, even now more. So the maceration is legit. You should definitely, if you do that, I think, especially with fragrances that are deeper, amberier and things like that, they do really turn out smelling great. So this, to me, didn't smell as great when I first did my video, when it was exclusively selling at Harrods. I think it was part of Harrods anniversary. That's why it was launched there. But now it smells so awesome. I'm going to go ahead and smell the 2020 bottle here. That's when it was manufactured. Let's see. Well, the juice is definitely a lot darker. Very identical. But the juice on the new one is not as dark as the juice on this one. As you can see, it's a bit redder. There. But so good. I absolutely love this fragrance. I have spoken about it quite a bit. If you're looking for your Ciel de Gum and you don't have it anymore, get yourself a bottle of Reflets d'Ambre. It's much easier now, especially since it's on the MFK USA website. I mean, it is pricey, 70 ml, $3.15. And if you have the luxury of letting your bottle sit around and let it macerate, I think it's good. I personally don't have to worry about these fragrances ever going off, but still keep it in a cool, dark, dry space. Keep it in your box. Put it in the closet. Let it stay there. It doesn't have a lot of citruses or any, because that's what you have to worry about. For example, with Absolue pour le Matin, this is lots of lemons. If you leave it in a warm, kind of humid, bright place, I think you have the chance to get that turned, because the lemon as a citrus note turns much faster than any resinous ambery notes. But for me, I'm so happy that these were relaunched. And again, the person that told me in a comment that this is a brand new fragrance, I shouldn't compare it to Ciel de Gum. If it's a brand new fragrance, why does it smell like Ciel de Gum? It shouldn't if it's a brand new fragrance. So this is a redo of Ciel de Gum. It's just renamed because it used to be referring to a department store in Moscow called Gum, I guess. I've never been there. This is what I've been told. I always used to say gum. Somebody said, and a lot of you guys said, it's called Gum, not gum. But to me, it's spelled like it's gum. But anyway, those are all my thoughts today about these 4 fragrances that are called the My Very Intimate Collection fragrances from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. And most importantly, Le Beau Parfum just launched now. But I think I gave you my ranking. My number 1 is Absolue pour le Soir. Number 2 is Ciel de Gum, but very close. I think the aging, the maceration smells even better with Reflets d'Ambre in comparison to the new version of Absolue pour le Soir, but I would still rank Absolue pour le Soir as number 1. Reflets d'Ambre as number 2. With the latter 2, it's a tie. I'm not sure which I would prefer, but Absolue pour le Matin and Le Beau Parfum I think is a tie. So 3 and 4. But let me know your thoughts about these 4 fragrances. Add a comment below and let me know if you're going to check these fragrances out now that they are selling on the USA MFK website. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel and also click the bell icon so you'll be notified for future videos. And also, please give a thumbs up to this video so it'll help with the algorithm. Appreciate you tuning in. See you later. Bye-bye.